Hello everyone and welcome to a very special video. This video is a celebration and a thank you for hitting 100 subscribers on the channel. The support recently, I think it's probably since the Planet Coaster 2 content came out, has been insane. I think I've gained somewhere between 30 or 40 subscribers in the past month, which is mental. So yeah, as a thank you, I thought I'd do a top 10 coasters. I have not ridden many coasters, and you know, 10's a cool number. So not only if you divide 100 by 10 do you get 10, but also 10 is 10. So it's a top 10 coaster list. It makes sense, it makes sense. Deal with it. Anyway, onto the main list, let's get started. Now at number 10, this is probably going to be really controversial, but we've got the Smiler. It's an alright coaster the first time you ride it. Like, I only rode it because like yeah, it's a cred. I'm never riding it again unless I can get a night ride on it. For me it's just boring, repetitive, it's rough towards the end especially, but pretty much all the way through I just find it a bit rough. It gets so much hype and I just think it's a really underwhelming experience. Yeah, on to number 9, Nemesis Inferno. Very good coaster, especially when it runs well. The front row is immaculate. The front row, very good. The back row, also very good. Although I have found the last few times I've ridden it, it's been quite rough. Very intense though, and it's a good type of intense. It's got the actual intensity, it's also got the added intensity of the roughness, and the pre-lift as well is, I don't know what it is, but just the feeling of swaying under a volcano through the mist. I don't know, it's just really fun. On to number 8 is Oblivion. Now, it's definitely a one-trick pony. It does its drop, that's about it, but that drop is world-class. Seeing as it's the first of its kind, I mean, you can't really beat it, to be honest. It's not the tallest, it's not the steepest, but it's just such a good drop. I don't know what it is, it blew me away, and it's just genuinely terrifying, hanging over the edge, staring into that huge black hole, and then you just get dropped down. You genuinely just feel like you're dropping forever, and then you come out of the tunnel, you do a turn, and then you're on the brake run, and then you're probably there for about half an hour. At number 7, we're jumping back and forth between Alton and Thorpe. Number 7, got Soar the Ride. The reason it's not higher is because of how incredibly rough it is. If you get a good seat, like the back middle seats, they're not as rough. They're still a bit rough, but they're not as rough. And other than the roughness, the layout is amazing. You've got the brilliant indoor section, which is genuinely quite scary. It's got a brilliant layout, lots of airtime and intensity, although the one thing that I do not like about it, it's not only the roughness, but also the last dive loop is, I don't know what it is, it's just too intense. It takes it so fast because the trims just don't slow you down. And so it whips you around there, but it's very aggressive, and that bit just leaves me with a headache every time. And at number 6, we've got Baron 1898 at Efteling. It's just Oblivion, isn't it? But better. It's a bit shorter in height, but it's a lot better. The theming, pre-show, amazing. Going out of the station, watching them weird ghost ladies fly around and going, that's very good. You got the drop. Drop is still very good. I do like the drop. Nowhere near as good as Oblivion's drop, but still a very good drop. And then you go into zero G roll, and you go into Helix. That Helix is so intense. Such a good Helix. Overall though, it's just a newer, more interesting Oblivion. Now onto the Swarm. There's not really much to say about this. Got good theming, good station. I do like the station. Good intensity on the Helix after the incline loop. The drop on the front row on the right side is amazing. You just get raised up into the air and then launched straight towards the ground, but you're hanging there for a good second, 2 seconds. Yeah, it's a bit short. That's really what lets it down. Great ride, but it just gets beaten out by number 4, which is Wicker Man at Alton Towers. This coaster has one of, if not the best pre-show I have ever seen. It blew me away. It hyped me up so much for the ride. Great ride experience as well. Got a good mixture of ejector airtime. Got some nice laterals, but the things that let it down for me, you got the flat turn, which just I don't know, it just kills the pacing a bit, and obviously the turn into the brake run is a bit lateral heavy. I don't know, it just sort of ruins it, and the brake run, but it's a brake run. It's not really part of the ride. Anyway, I mean, the reason it's so hype, I mean, Big Bob. This is nothing else to say. It's just. Look at it, it's beautiful. Number 3, Stealth. Again, not really much happens, but what it does do is incredible. The launch, I've ridden it 3 times in the past year. It still shocks me every single time how intense it is. It feels like a stomach punch in the best way possible. It just sort of tries to rip your face off in a good way. I mean, there's probably not really a good way to rip someone's face off, but Stealth does it. Stealth manages it. Good job, Stealth. And then you go into the top hat. I've never ridden front row on the Stealth. I've only ever ridden back row. I do need to get on front row at some point though. But back row, you get some great airtime. And on the pull up into the top hat, it's extremely intense. Probably one of the most intense parts on a coaster in the UK. Even though it's very short-lived, you get absolutely thrown out of your seat. You also get some nice views, especially at night with Hyperia. You get some great views of Hyperia from the top. And then you get yanked down into the airtime hill, into the brakes. It's a very short ride, but it's got a perfect mix of intensity. Very good ride. Yum, yum, yum. And at number 2, we've got Nemesis Reborn. This ride, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. The Helix after the corkscrew, it's so whippy, it's so intense. It's amazing. I mean, the terrain work and theming, it's an amazing ride experience. Great theming. There's not really much else to say about it. It's just a very, very good coaster with a good amount of intensity, but not too much to the point where it's painful. Anyway, as I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you, number 1, we've got Hyperia. I mean, it's obvious. I don't really need to say much about it apart from airtime. It's a machine. That first drop, I swear it tries to throw you onto the M25. It's crazy. The views you get from the top at night, just any time of day, is incredible. You can see the whole park just shrinking behind you. Even Stealth looks tiny from the top of Hyperia. After the first drop, which is mental, hands up back row, there's nothing else like it in the UK at all. After the first drop, you go down into the valley. You also go down into Fearless Valley, because you can go down, then you're in Fearless Valley, and you're in the valley then. It's funny. For some reason though, the pull up into the non-inverting Immelman, I have never not grayed out on that. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I just always grey out. And then you go into the non-inverting Immelman, again, you just get absolutely thrown out of your seat, and then you're just held there for a good 2 or 3 seconds. Mental. And then the outer bank. That is probably the craziest element on any ride in the UK. It's just such a weird sensation. It's trying to throw you sideways and up at the same time, and then you just get absolutely whipped through a roll straight into the ground, which for some reason catches me off guard every time. And then you've got the Stalls dive loop, which is just an incredible feeling of dangling head first above the ground, and then you're diving straight towards the ground. You can see everyone in the queue as you just plummet head first. It's incredible. And then the trims, which suck, but even after the trims, you still get 2 more pops of incredible ejector airtime, which always surprise me with how intense they are for some reason. And then you go back into the station as well. Brilliant theming, and the soundtrack going up the lift hill. It genuinely, that hyped me up so much for the first drop. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it that just adds so much to the ride. It's such a little thing, but it adds so much. But yeah, Hyperia, there we go. Truly a ride of all time. And that's it. Top 10 coasters that I have ridden. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. And I just wanted to give a special shout out to Coaster Max. His channel has been my inspiration, and his content's really helped me to actually continue uploading and making content. I just really enjoy his videos, and I can never not watch one of his videos. So I just wanted to thank him so much for existing and really inspired me to start this channel. So thank you very much, Coastermax. Shout out to you. But yeah, feel free to leave your opinions on my list in the comments below, and your list if you want. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for 100 subs. Goodbye.